Melanie, when people think antique estate jewelry, this is what they often think of. The first thing that comes to mind, a carved cameo brooch made out of shell or coral or even stone. And they think, oh, it's always going to be this antiquish kind of, lady they've never seen before, carved into a cameo. And while those are beautiful brooches, they don't represent everything that goes on in the antique estate jewelry line.
There's tons of antique estate jewelry. There's beautiful rings and bracelets and gorgeous necklaces.
Well, and I don't want to skip by this too quickly because there are stunning brooches out there. They're like the stone onyx brooches and the conch shell. This is a seashell type of brooch, and also the coral one, which is really beautiful. These are all carved out of, the coral especially is organic, and that's sea coral, and they carve that out and make a beautiful design. Sometimes these cameos were even carved after the portrait or a sitting of an actual woman. They were carved for her. An artist would carve this just like a portrait artist would go to their house and do a portrait painting. So it's some beautiful history that goes along with all of these cameos. And some are in white gold, some are in 14 and 10 karat yellow gold. Some are in gold plated, gold filled. I've even seen some in brass that weren't plated at all. They just had a very natural kind of look. And they're absolutely stunning, and not one of these pieces is identical to the other because they're all hand carved. And Melanie, antique estate jewelry would be not a good category without beautiful antique estate jewelry rings, okay?
I love the rings. I love the old filigree style with the diamonds, all the old antique work.
Those are, oh, look at these.
It's very common to even see sapphires in the old antiques.
Those are very pretty. I mean, like, look at this one. It has little sapphires going all the way around.
But
that's
see,
gorgeous.
I love stuff like this with all the filigree and the diamonds that go all the way around.
I think this is one of the classic ones. You see the little, there's little bead work in it. That's very expensive to have done today unless it's done as some reproduction in China kind of thing, which is not the same thing. But even something like this, that really, this is the type of thing that somebody would say, wow, that is really antique, because you don't see a squared off ring.
It's unique. Your friend isn't going to have one just like it. That's why the antique jewelry is just so beautiful and so well made, so well done.
And the antique cut diamonds are very different than the diamonds you see in jewelry today. They're usually a little finer in my opinion, but the way the facets were placed on the diamond is somewhat different, so you get a little bit of a different optical effect. But anyway, I love the rings, quite frankly. You'll see a lot of the antique rings in white gold and platinum, not as much yellow, because that was very popular. Hey, Mel, and then when we come back, we ought to talk about the antique bracelets, don't you think?
That's a good idea, Don.